In this video, we'll discuss policy match actions. Routing policies have terms inside them, and each term has what we call match conditions and match actions. The match conditions are the tests that are being performed against the routing information that's coming into your device, and the match actions are the resulting action if the condition is found true. So for example, I could create a match condition that says, if the routing information is OSPF, then let's take the action of accept that routing information. The match conditions are like if statements. So as I mentioned, we can perform those tests and I can check the characteristics of the routing information that's coming in to the device itself. And the match actions are using then statements. So if that information, protocol information that's coming into the device is OSPF, so then accept or then reject would be our syntax. So as an example, the match condition is met, and then whatever the action is that's associated with that term will then execute. And a lot of times the most common are the accept and the reject actions. And those are what we call terminating actions, which means that's kind of the end of the line for that policy. The information is then going to be either added or rejected from the routing table. Now, as I mentioned, accept and reject are the most common match actions that you place into your configuration, but they're not the only match actions that we use. So accept will accept the route information, reject will reject the route information. Another example of an action that you can place into your policy is next term. Next term means that the routing device will stop the evaluation of the current term and instantly jump to whatever your next term is. Another example of a match action would be next policy. So next policy, again, the information is coming into your device is executing the policy in the term. Once this action is found, the next policy, evaluation is stopped of the current term, and then the routing device will move over to the next policy. Modify is another example of a match action, and this is used to modify the value of the routing information. So you can actually perform a lot of manipulation in these routing policies of the routing information. Another example of a match action is trace. So if you want to log the information to a trace file within your policy, you can use the trace action. Other considerations that you want to think about when creating these routing policies is the accept and the reject are the most common, as I mentioned earlier. So typically those are going to be the resulting action inside your terms. These are referred to as terminating actions, which means once those are executed, the routing policy stops, and at that point a routing decision is made. So for instance, if accept is the action, then that information is added to the routing table versus reject, it's not added to the routing table. So in this video, we discussed policy match actions.